Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. You know what time it is. It is time for Sip and Chat. And baby, we're going to have some fun tonight because I know every week I tell you I have one of my favorite people on here. But when I say this is one of my absolute absolute favorite people, I mean my absolute favorite people, okay? And that is my sister, my friend, my mentor, Miss Wynne Briscoe, baby.
How are you? How are you?
I make all the noise for you, right? Because we can't hear everybody else out there in the land. But I'm so excited to see you. Like, I wish to a degree that people could have seen us when we first saw each other because it's been so long since we
Right.
saw each other. I was
Right.
like, I miss you.
I miss you. I miss you. I really
I have
do.
not seen your
Thank you for having me on tonight.
Yes, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. I have not seen your beautiful face in almost a year now, it feels like. Yeah, but that's okay. I get a whole good half hour with you, baby. How have you been?
I've been well. I have been blessed. There is just full of gratitude.
You
All is
like
well.
it. You look like it. You look like you are just beaming, just life and peace and joy. But while we wait for everybody to come on tap in, because they're gonna want to hear this conversation tonight. What you sipping on tonight, baby?
I am sipping on some homemade sangria. That's
Yes.
nice little Moscato passion fruit with some delicious berries.
Yes. Well, I'm sipping on my usual, some green tea, some nice warm green tea.
It's good
Um,
too.
yeah, I love wine, but the older that I get, wine don't seem to love me as much. So I don't get to partake as much anymore. I learned a while ago that whites wasn't my friend no more. The white wines definitely don't like me. You talk about an allergy fit, the allergy fit. The reds, they nice and warming, but now neither one of them are working. So enjoy your sangria for me is what I'm saying.
I
What I'm
shall.
saying.
I shall.
But you have so much that you can contribute to this sip and chat. Like, I don't even know where to begin in chatting with you because let's say you are a business owner, you are a business mastermind, and you mentor others in making their business succeed. Um, you are what else? You got so much going on. Tell everybody what's going on.
I do. As you said, I'm full of gratitude always because I'm just so thankful to be able to live a life where I can be a vessel to help others live their lives. That's been my greatest joy is to
Yeah.
be able to work with entrepreneurs over the last 30 years and help them live their dreams. It's nothing like someone telling me what their dream is and for me to be able to walk them through that process so
Yeah.
that they can have a fulfilling livelihood for themselves and for their community. That brings you some joy that just I can't describe.
Like I listen. I know why you can't describe it because I can't even describe the love that you give to everyone that you work with in incubating and caring for their baby, their business babies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
say this woman celebrates with you, she celebrates with you, and then when she got to give you a swift elbow in the ribs.
I feel like a business midwife. I'm there to help you birth your vision and your baby, but I'm also there when you have those celebrations and oh, this is great. You're 5 years, and you're 10 years, and now we're 15. And where did the time go, right? The age. And there's times where I have to give you a little tough love, right?
Look,
That's
what
the
was
balance.
your favorite line to me was T, don't chase the carrot. Leave that carrot alone. That's don't follow the carrot, T. I'd be like, oh, but what about this? And I think about I want to do blah blah blah. She'd be like, T,
You
don't
gotta
chase that carrot.
focus. There's no chasing the carrot. You can't be the cat with the ball and string, right? Like I need you to focus. And once you focus, then we can grow. We can thrive from there. But
Yeah.
and you
That's
did
a
that.
great idea, but we're going to put that over there because
Yes.
you're not chasing that carrot right now.
No chasing the carrot. No chasing the carrot. That's it.
But
That's it.
no, I love it. I love it. And I love you. And just so everyone knows why you are one of my absolute favorite people, you know, in all seriousness, like we talked about, you encourage people, you know, you're like a midwife. No, she really is, because there are days when, you know, it's a struggle, not that she even knows it, but she'll send me an encouraging word and be like, this is what I got for you. And she's like, stay encouraged, don't give up. And I'd be like, man, I really needed that today. So it's like her intuition with it is just so amazing. But
when it comes to me, you know, it usually, you know, I stay in prayer a lot. So when it comes to me, I reach out at that moment in time, and it may not make sense to me at that time, but it's okay. It made sense to you in that moment because you needed it at that time. And it happens so often where at first I was hesitant to deliver those messages. And now I'm even more comfortable. I'm like, okay, this is what you need at that moment. It's not about my understanding of it. It's about you receiving it, and it's always on time. So that's always comforting for sure.
Yeah. And so speaking of that, a lot of people have been hit hard business wise with the pandemic. And I know that my business has taken some hits. You know, there is freedom in the truth. You know, my business took some hits, and I know your business took some hits. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about just how we've had to pivot, you know, the blessing in the pivot and the blessing in having something to pivot to. You know what I mean?
That's so key. You have to think about, as entrepreneurs, you've got to be flexible. I tell people you need to flow like the water versus being stagnant like a tree.
Yeah.
So think about that. So for my business, for me, I've been a realtor for 13 years with Century 21. And that has always been a thriving go-to, because there's nothing like, for me, the two things: helping people become entrepreneurs and helping people become homeowners. Those are two American dreams for most people. So, and it's a wonderful thing to be that person to help them achieve either of those or both of those. So that's been consistent for me. With my organic skincare company that I own, that's the Maryland's second certified organic manufacturing company. It was great to just be able to put it on pause, because that was my direction was just put it on pause and focus on the book that I'm writing, and pick it back up when the book is done. Then I can pivot back to the business. So that was the direction that I was given, and I've just put it on pause, and it's been great that my customers have been patient.
Yes.
Have great loyal customers that we take care of, and it's okay. And to know that, you know what, when you are in the flow, you have to be able to sometimes pivot and not try and hold on to something at that moment that you need to be looking at another option for, or also in the pandemic, when you have to pivot in the pandemic. When you're faced with that, looking at how to reinvent yourself. How else can you service your customer with the product, service, or the talents that you have? You want to think about that. And it can't be just, this is how we've always done it. No business will survive that way. You have to be nimble, and you have to look at always providing the solution that's current. So if there is something that is pandemic related, if it's something that's trending, that's not even a pandemic related, you want to look at, okay, is there another way that I can service my customer, meet their need, and still be able to function in my business while we grow and thrive? That's the key.
Yeah, totally key. And it takes me back to how we always talk about you need 7 streams of income. You know, even if it's not 7, the moral of the story is have multiple streams. You know, because there is way more in your hand than what you think is there. And in times like this, it becomes important, because when you have to pivot, you're usually pivoting to something else that you have in your hand, something else you have the ability to do.
You want to think about always having at least 3 to 5 streams of income. I kind of laugh when I teach my business classes because I always tell them I was an entrepreneur since the age of 7, where I made jewelry in elementary school, took orders that were prepaid and brought back the order the following week to my classmates. So, at the age of 7, I had an allowance and I had income from a jewelry making business. So I don't know that there's ever been a time that I've had one source of income in my life. Wouldn't know what that was like. And I always encourage people, follow your passion, monetize your hobbies. And if you have more than one bill, you should definitely have more than one source of income, because I couldn't imagine falling back on just one. To this day, for me, being a prior business consultant, owning my own firm and then coming on board with SBDC, still being a realtor and still owning a skincare company, I can't imagine having less, one stream of income, like, one job. What would that be like to have one job? But I love all the things that I do, and they all work well. And, I'm great at time management and managing myself and managing my businesses. So it's never been a problem with having multiple streams.
Yeah. I mean, like, just listening to you name everything, it's like, and there you have it.
Yeah.
And you do have plenty of options, and some of them are in they blend, but then it's like different areas in general. So it's like you just have options. It's not like you're doing the same thing all the time.
Not at all. Not at all. And it's great because you have things you do during the day and you have things you do during the weekends and the evenings, upon request. So you just schedule them. And so I encourage entrepreneurs in this pandemic, if you haven't started something new, if you haven't thought about a passion that's on your mind when you wake up or before you go to bed, get a journal, start writing some of your thoughts and ideas down, and really just act on them. This is the time.
Yeah. You said something big earlier, and I'm going to go back and get that, because when I first met you, it was amazing to even hear that. And the process that you had to go through. I remember when we had the conversation about whether or not I wanted to do that with kombucha, and that is, you said your company is one of the second, you were the second certified organic skincare business in the state of Maryland.
Yes.
That's big.
That was huge. It was huge. And it was a process. I will tell you, to this day, there's not a lot of us. There's a lot of people that make skincare. That manufacture. Now, we started out at home in the kitchen like most people do. And after the first year, we transitioned into a commercial facility. So we've been manufacturing skincare since 2009 in a commercial facility, and started the business in 2010. And we were the second certified organic in the state of Maryland. So Maryland Department of Agriculture is our certifier under the USDA guidelines. And to keep that up every year is a lot of paperwork, as you know.
Yes.
It's tremendous to keep the certification, but it means so much because the integrity is there. And we wanted to make sure that what we were giving our customers was pure and natural from the source. And there's no way to really validate that without a trace from the certification. So we stuck to it. And since 2014, we have been certified organic, and meaning that every single ingredient is safe to eat because it's food grade organics in a commercial facility. So we have customers globally. I love it when we get orders from, overseas, and our customers at all different languages and all different countries. And it's so amazing to know that you are helping them with their wellness journey, and they look at your ingredients and they say, okay, you know what, we can read these ingredients, we can eat these ingredients, and, taking care of our skin, because our skin is our largest organ. And so we have to love on our bodies, right? We eat well, hopefully. Right. So hopefully we're putting wellness on our bodies, just like we're putting wellness in our bodies. So people ask me, what's my skincare regimen? And I let them know, water. Water is my go-to beverage of choice. And I try to eat clean. And, I do have my moments where I like to cut up and splurge a little, but for the most part, I try to eat clean, and it's a reflection on your, it comes out.
And I was getting ready to say, I have to give it to you because you do. You do your best at eating clean. We have done business meetings where she's like, oh, we're going to go to this restaurant and we're going to have lunch. And I'm like, okay, great. And then we show up at the restaurant and I'm like, what are you eating? I'm sitting there ordering food and she's like, oh, pulling out her bag. Oh, I got this smoothie. This is what I'm drinking today. And I'm like, what? We could have ate somewhere else then.
Yes, I love a smoothie once a day. I have a smoothie. Yeah, there's a day that goes by that I don't have a smoothie. I feel a little off. So at least once a day, I have a green smoothie. So it definitely helps to make sure I get my fruits and veggies in every day.
And I was getting ready to say, so that's another important thing that we have to talk about, because as business owners, we quite often are very, very busy. Like there sometimes seems like, depending on what stage you're in, it can seem like it's not enough hours in the day for you to accomplish all that you need to get done.
Right.
But in the interim, taking care of yourself and being mindful of what you eat, that is sometimes hard for a lot of people, especially if you're not disciplined and or you haven't committed to paying attention. You know what I mean?
It starts with your refrigerator and it starts with your pantry. I tell people all the time when they ask me, how do I eat clean? For me, when we weren't in the pandemic, I would laugh at how many people would tell me that they would see me in the car, I kid you not, with my lunch bag, right? And my lunch bag is huge. Okay, I have a great, huge lunch bag.
You have a cooler for a lunch bag.
And my bottles of water, right? My thermoses of water, and I would have snacks. So the night before, just some Ziploc bags or however I portion, whether it's apples, carrots, whatever it is I'm snacking on, and also just making sure I have either a smoothie and whatever my meals are going to be during the day. So it starts with meal prep. It starts with intention. Right. Yeah, so if you don't make the time to be intentional with your health, and your health is just a reactory where I'm just going to put it on the back burner and I'm going to react, then the results are going to be a reaction. Right. Yeah. So if I'm just grabbing from fast food as a reaction to not being prepared, then it's going to reflect that. And there's times where I love, running through a drive-through every now and again, but it's not something that I do on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm mindful of what, I take in. And at the same time, if I'm doing meal prep or if I'm doing smoothie prep and things of that nature, it really helps. But so far, I've released 160 pounds. So, there used to be two of me sitting here.
Not anymore.
Yes.
And let me tell you,
for sure,
she has become foxy in her slim down too, baby. I'm like, and she's like, check this out. Look at this picture, like showing off. I was like, look at you showing off. But I'm so proud of you because you're right. It does take intent to do that. I even had gotten to the point where literally I would just ride around with snacks, like load up snacks in my purse because I was guilty of starvation, meaning I would get so focused sometimes that I would not eat.
Right.
And I would go through moments where my husband is fussing at me and my mother is fussing at me, like, when the last time you eat? Like, they got to the point where, when was the last time you ate? And people don't understand that just as in eating all the wrong things can harm you, not eating can do
not eating enough.
Not eating enough can do the same. And I was not eating enough. So I had to be intentional, like you said, and put my little healthy snacks in my bag. Right. And, I would be somewhere and people like talking to me and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. So I pull out a little bag of almonds or something out of my purse. They're like, you got a snack bag for a purse. I have to, because that's the only way. I eat like a bird. I pick away at stuff. I'm not that sit down in the setting. So being intentional is so true when you're busy and when you're focused. Having stuff with you to snack on is a great way to take care of yourself, because again, if you're owning a business, let's just be real, y'all. If you own your own business or you starting a business, if you're not taking care of your health, when you go down, what happens to your business?
It's true. It's true. Making the time to be intentional with everything, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your sleep, because rest is so key. Most people know I'm not a big morning person. Most people in my family and friends, they know that. For me, sleep for me is that's like my kryptonite. So I go to bed at a decent hour, and I sleep through the night for the most part. So I need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm drinking 60 to 70 ounces at least of water a day, at a minimum, and just maintaining your fresh fruits and veggies. Those are things that came into play really when I looked at how my life was going years ago. And the environment that I was in that was really unhealthy. And when I removed myself from that unhealthy environment, from there, learning self-love was really the key. And I thought I had learned self-love, right? We thought. And once I removed myself from that unhealthy environment, and it was like, oh, okay, I can do this. It is me. I can love on me now. I don't have the distraction. I don't have the toxicity and the environment that's around me that was causing me to neglect myself. Right? Because that happens when you're in an unhealthy environment with unhealthy people. And so making that decision, and that's kind of where my book starts. It's called Release, and it talks about that. It talks about my weight loss journey. It talks about my journey with God over the last 20 years, and everything from faithfulness to forgiveness and everything in between. And so, just how coming out of certain environments and being in a healthy space and really learning self-love and understanding my relationship with God is the core of everything that happens around me, is what has allowed me over the last few years to really just pivot myself personally. And to thrive, and I can feel it where people say to me, you look like you're aging less, right? Like you're going in reverse. And I said, yeah, I'm reclaiming my time.
Exactly.
The last 20 years, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm back at my high school weight and size. And I'm reclaiming my time. I went right on past college. I'm right back in high school.
Now that's an accomplishment right there for anybody. You don't often hear too many people say, "I'm back at my high school weight."
I am.
Yeah, but that's awesome, and I cannot wait for your book to come out for sure. And I love that you're calling it Release, because you and I have talked about it plenty of times over this past year or so as you were beginning to birth it, and you were talking about just that, being able to release all of the stress, being able to release the forgiveness to yourself, not just to the other person that was partaking in a toxic relationship, but being able to forgive yourself.
Right.
And heal. And you have done a lot of healing over this past year, a lot of healing.
Yes.
So I can only imagine what this book is going to be like.
Oh, it's amazing. Now, that's funny because I love reading books, and I will tell people all day long, I have in my storage, I probably have 5 or 6 storage tubs of books. I'm a collector of books. I'm a hoarder of books. I love books. I can't wait to establish a library. So I keep, books in my Amazon Kindle and my Audible, tons and tons of books, because I just love books. But it's amazing going back with my editor now in this process and reading through. And, I just look at her and I'm like, oh my God, how did this come? It's all coming together to be able to read it and to be like, this is going to bless the masses. And it wasn't something that I desired to do. It was, as I tell people, it's a divinely directed memoir. So it was not something I wanted to even share, more or less recap. And I didn't have a say in the matter. So, you go forward and you follow direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you make it happen.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm
I know it's really going to
so,
be
so very proud of you.
a good tool and a resource for a lot of people. And it's great. It's released to receive victory in all areas of your life. And it covers all areas of your life.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to really talk about it, because I have my show, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna have to bring you on there when your book releases so that we can talk about it on the show
I
afterwards.
definitely will come back for sure.
Yeah. But I just love chatting with you. You know it. Like when we get off of here, y'all not gonna get all the other good stuff that we gonna talk about.
No.
Me and her got some good stuff to talk about once we get off of here. But I just want to say I'm so very, very, very proud of you. Like, I'm proud of you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for that, for all that you've done for me in my life since you've come into it. Um, we've had an amazing journey, and I'm so looking forward to what the rest of life has to offer in our connection, for sure. For sure.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm excited about your book, and I'm so grateful for you coming on. The time is winding down, and in all honesty, as much as I know people probably want to tune in to hear some more about your business mastermind, I'm about to take her to myself so that her and I can really catch up and talk. I mean, some
Yeah.
things ain't meant for all this airway, y'all. Y'all already know that.
Well,
But
I will tell you, I love connecting with entrepreneurs. I love connecting with the youth, definitely with women, to just really help you thrive and grow and understand your value and your worth, and how to just take what your passions are and just live
yeah,
your passions. You have your one life. And so, definitely don't have a life of regrets. Have a life of lessons, a life of love, and move forward in that. And that's the best thing that I can say. Over my 40-year journey, I don't have any regrets. I just have lessons and love.
lessons and love. I like that. I like that. Well, I thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're not gonna hold y'all too much longer. As always, like I said, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, today is a great day to make a difference in the lives of those that are around you. And now, me and Miss Wynne Briscoe, we about to go have our own little chat while she finished sipping on her sangria.
It's true.
Cause look, you was so enthused about that book, you ain't even took a sip yet. I noticed. I noticed.
My sip. Do you want me to take a sip of my
I want to
sangria? Did
take
everybody see my sangria? It's delicious.
It looks great. It really does. What's that at the top? It look like you got a
Mm.
little frosting going on up there.
That's some berries. That's raspberries and blackberries and blueberries. And that's a passion fruit sangria.
Oh yeah,
Delicious.
that looks good.
We took you to the islands tonight.
Yeah, baby. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Check me out next week on Sip and Chat. Let me tell you, I'm gonna have another interesting person on tap. I know who it is, but you got to tune in to find out, baby. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sip and Chat with T. Lynn and my good friend Wynne Briscoe.
Take
And
care.
we are out of here. Y'all have a great night. Woo!